For this episode, we will talk about derivatives. So here we will discuss the following rules. First is constant rule. Second is if you were given a y equals k x raised to 1. Third is power rule. Fourth is product rule. Fifth is quotient rule. So first we have the constant rule. If y is equal to f of x equals k, then y prime is equal to 0. It simply means that if you were given a constant, here for example, its derivative would be equal to 0. So let's have an example. For instance, you were given y equals 3. So 3 is a constant. Therefore, y prime is equal to 0. Let's have another example. What if you were given y equals 35? Therefore, 35 is a constant. Therefore, its y prime is equal to 0. So that's the constant rule. If you were given a problem that is y equals to kx raised to 1, then y prime is equal to k. It simply means that if you were given a problem that is raised to 1, its derivative would be its coefficient. For instance, here, our coefficient is k. So, the y prime is equals to k. Let's have an example. So, for example, you were given an f of x equals 9x. So here you can see that we have a coefficient here and x is raised to 1. So therefore, f prime of x is equals to 9 because 9 is the coefficient of the term. Let's have another example. What if you're given a problem that is y equals to negative 2 over 5 times x? So y prime would be negative 2 over 5 because here x is raised to 1. So therefore, its derivative would be the coefficient, which is negative 2 over 5. So we have the answer. So for the third rule, we have the power rule. It is given that y is equal to x raised to n, then y prime is equal to n x raised to n minus 1. Here, if you were given a problem that is y equals x raised to n, you would apply the power rule. How? Y prime equals, So here, you would multiply the exponent to its coefficient. Suppose we have a 1 here. So n times 1 equals n. Then next, you would subtract 1 to its exponent. So n minus 1. Copy x, n minus 1. Let's have an example. For instance, you were given y equals 5x raised to 10. So here, in this kind of problem, you would use power rule. So therefore, y prime is equal to 10 times 5 equals 50. Copy x. Then 10 subtract 1 equals to 9. So we have the answer. Let's have another example. What if you were given a problem like this? Y equals square root of x. So here, before we proceed to power rule, you would first simplify the term. Suppose we have here 1 and a 2. So, x here, 1 and 2 would be your exponent. 1 would be your numerator, and 2 would be your denominator. So we have x raised to 1/2. Then, we would proceed to the power rule. So, y prime is equal to, so 1/2 times 1 is equal to 1/2. Then, copy x. Then, 1/2 minus 1 is equal to negative 1/2. So, here as you can see in the expression, we have a negative exponent. So, that's not the end. We would still need to simplify the term. So, we need to bring down this term. So, the exponent would be positive. So, it will be like this. 1 all over 2x raised to 1/2. Then, the term is already simplified, so we have the final answer.
Next, we have the product rule. Suppose you were given an expression y is equals to f times g. To get the derivative, you will have to know the formula. Y prime is equals to the derivative of the first times the second, plus the derivative of the second times the first. Suppose you were given an expression y is equals to x squared plus x times 1 minus 4x. To get the derivative, we will have to apply the said formula. The derivative of the first expression times the second. Now, to get the derivative of the first term of the first expression, we will have to apply the power rule. Therefore, the derivative of x squared is 2x, and the derivative of x is 1. But we don't need to put it anymore. Now we have the derivative of the first expression times the second. So we need to have 1 minus 4x plus the derivative of the second expression, which is negative 4, times the second. So we need to have x squared plus x. Next, we simplify. So we have 2x minus 8x squared minus 4x squared minus 4x. Next, we will have to combine the like terms. So we have negative 12x squared minus 2x. Now we have the answer y prime is equals to negative 12x squared minus 2x. Next, we have the quotient. Suppose we were given this expression y is equal to numerator over denominator. We will have to use the quotient rule with the formula y prime is equal to denominator times numerator prime minus numerator times denominator prime all over denominator squared. Now let's have an example. Y is equals to 5x over 1 minus x squared. Now we apply the quotient rule. Denominator times the numerator prime, which is 5, minus the numerator times the denominator prime, which is negative 2x. All over 1 minus x squared raised to 2. Next, simplify. Y prime is equals to 5 minus 5x squared plus 10x squared all over 1 minus x squared raised to 2. Now we combine like terms. Y prime is equals to 5x squared plus 5 all over 1 minus x squared raised to 2. Now we have the answer. To sum it all up, in today's episode, we learned about the derivatives and the different rules we can apply. multiply. First, the constant rule.
Second, if you are given an expression that is y equals kx raised to 1.
Next, we have the power rule.
Next, we have the product rule.
And last, the quotient rule. We hope you learned something from today's lesson. I'm Jose Marie Santos.
I'm Elmira Gracie Doctor
from grade 11 Heisenberg. Thank you for watching!